We have many letters of support from many organizations in the community who believe in the cause, who wanted to send their support but couldn't be here. So next we have Sunita Farrow and Jeff Fudge to read those letters. Please welcome to the stage Sunita and Jeffrey.
Dear friends, the Community Social Planning Council of Toronto is an independent, non-profit organization which promotes the quality of life of all residents of the City of Toronto. We work with social planning partners across Ontario and Canada in pursuit of this mission. The Council is writing to express our strong support to Anji and Jane, as well as your family, friends, and community as they step up to show that this kind of attack is not acceptable in Oshawa, in Ontario, or anywhere, but especially not at a school. We are proud that our sister organization, Community Development Council of Durham, is playing a leadership role in the community response to this outrage. Your strong response sends a clear message to bigots and bullies everywhere. Thank you for speaking out. You speak not just for yourselves, but for all of us who harbor hatred, bigotry, and violence. In strong support, sincerely, John Campy, Executive Director.
The League of Human Rights of B'nai B'rith Canada expresses its dismay over this brutal attack, which had brought all in protest. Ironically, as this outrageous act of violence and bigotry against these two women and mothers was taking place outside the school, the League was hosting a conference bringing Ontario's diverse communities together to strategize as to the best ways to counter hate and provide support to victims of such incidents. A reoccurring theme at the Community Alliance Forum was that a strong response from all sectors was required. We have therefore called on police to recognize the hate element in this vicious assault and to investigate it accordingly from the outset. The message must be heard loud and clear that hate will simply not be tolerated in our midst. We join with each of you there tonight in the ongoing struggle to build an accepting and respectful community for all residents of this province and indeed our country. Marvin Kurtz, National Legal Counsel for the League of Human Rights of B'nai B'rith Canada and Chair of the Community Anti-Hate Alliance Forum.
As a social planning council that serves the entire community in the region of Durham, the Community Development Council Durham promotes the creation of and advocates on behalf of attitudes and actions which enhance individual, family, and community growth. We believe that this is achieved through the development of a caring, inclusive community that supports the full participation and inclusion of all its citizens, regardless of their ethno-cultural background, socioeconomic status, religion, or sexual orientation. These conditions may only occur in a community that is founded in principles of respect and acceptance. The disturbing events that occurred on November 3rd are a black mark on our community's reputation and a step away from these principles. This attack indicates that although we have come far in our efforts to enhance the social rights and freedoms of many groups within our society, we still have a long way to come in developing a community that is truly inclusive of all its citizens. The GLBT community in Durham has been particularly affected by this incident, and all of us, community organizations, government, and the general public, need to stand up and show our support for the community at this time. Every act of hate that occurs in our community is an action that derides the progress that we have made. An action against principles of inclusion and respect that must be the foundation of a caring and open community. We fully believe that every act of hate that occurs in our community is an action taken against all of us who hope to live in a decent society that provides opportunity for every one of its citizens to grow, flourish, and feel at home. The violence that was perpetrated on November 3rd was an intensely personal attack on the dignity and safety of all individuals involved. It was also an intensely disturbing attack on the often precarious feelings of acceptance and inclusion that many others in the community of feel in the community in Durham. Furthermore, it was intensely damaging attack on the kind of community that we all want to live in, and that we all want to raise our children in, and that we all want to grow old in. We at the Community Development Council Durham believe that we should all be standing in solidarity to deride the hate, to bring through the apathy, and to break through the apathy, and to shatter the bigotry that has allowed this act of violence to occur in our community. In doing so, we will be creating conditions in which all groups may feel at home in the region of Durham, and all those groups that make up its constituent parts, to promote the full inclusion of all people who choose to make Durham their home. We will always stand in solidarity with those who share our core values of respect, dignity, and social justice for all citizens in our society, without exceptions. Only by coming together and sharing our community may we purge the hate that often seems to permeate our society and provides the foundation for violence to occur. Yours in solidarity, Ben Earl and Tracy Vaughn, Manager of Social Planning and Executive Director.
The Ontario Council of Agencies Serving Immigrants strongly condemns the hateful homophobic attack perpetrated against Anji and Jane's family in Durham. We expect authorities to give an appropriate response to this crime. Every community in Ontario where immigrants and refugees settle should be safe, free from violence and oppression for everyone. We salute the response by those in the community who have stood up with determination to roll back hatred.
We only have another 50 letters to read. Hang in there. Kidding, just kidding. Dear residents of Durham Region, Durham Hospice provides support to individuals who are facing advanced illness, death, or bereavement. We do this so that during these difficult times, people may live with dignity, respect, and compassion. Our access, equity, and discrimination policy affirms everyone's rights to be treated equitably, with value, and without fear of discrimination. As such, we support Jane and Angie and all of our neighbors' rights to live in a safe community. Durham Region is a place with beautiful, caring, and inclusive communities. We stand together with others to ensure that lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender neighbors can live with dignity, respect, and compassion all the days of their lives. Sincerely, Kristen Schmidt-Chamberlain, Executive Director.
Like many across the country, we were shocked in Sault Ste. Marie to hear of the hate crime committed against Anji and Jane last week outside their children's Oshawa school. While it is hard to stomach that such an act could occur at this day in our province, after so many successes for lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, and queer people, this horrific assault shows us that our battles are not over yet. It is enough to have legal protection, especially when that protection is rendered hollow with foot dragging and loopholes that allow a hateful, dangerous perpetrator to walk free, continuing his intimidation in our community. We will not have the world we struggle for until we have reached into the hearts and minds of every person, challenged them to acknowledge and confront their own homophobia and transphobia, challenge them to evaluate their own privileges and disadvantages, and challenge them to look at the world with vigor and love. In honor of Anji and Jane and their children, we recommit ourselves to that struggle. We wish them all the strength, courage, and support that they need to continue their battle, and their supporters the stamina to follow through and see this battle to its end. In solidarity, the Sault Ste. Marie Gay Straight Alliance.
Dear members and parents and friends of gays and lesbians, on behalf of the Social Services Department, Regional Municipality of Durham, congratulations on organizing an event that demonstrates to this community and all communities watching that violence and intolerance are simply not acceptable in Durham Region. Thank you for reminding the larger community that all citizens have a right to fully participate in their community, that all citizens have a right to feel safe in their community, and that no child should ever witness violence in the home, on the street, and certainly not in the schoolyard. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, the time is always right to do what is right. I'm confident this community wants to do what is right, and I thank the organizers for reminding us. Sincerely, Dr. Hugh Druin, Commissioner of Social Services.